guys, it's me and Danielle. We just finished Dancing with the Stars, and we wanted to give our little review. Danielle's man went first, so you want to talk about Mr. AJ?
Sure. He kind of disappointed me a little bit. Like, I was expecting a little more, and that's not what I got. But like he said, ballroom dancing is not what he grew up doing, so it's a little out of his comfort zone. But he did get an 18, which was sixes across the board. I did give him good reviews.
It's a good assessment.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to work on things a little. He needs to learn to, like, follow through with his moves. Or as Derek said, hit them and then go to the next one. And got to work on the feet work a little. Got to point the toes.
What do you think of his partner?
I love his partner.
His partner is Cheryl Burke, who is a veteran.
She's a 2-time winner.
And if anyone can put AJ in shape, it's her.
Yeah. And their team is called Team Messed Up, which is kind of funny.
He wore a blue suit and his head is shaved.
Yes.
Which shocked her.
Majorly. Like, I almost had a fit. I was like, what the heck?
Me, I never really noticed the guy's hair. I was like, I don't know, maybe he thinks it would give him good luck. I think it was hard going first. I would be nervous going first. But, who went second? Was Chriselle, right?
Yeah, next was Chriselle.
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. I do not like Chriselle Strauss. I think that's how you say her last name. Formerly Hartley. She was married to This Is Us star Justin Hartley. They're currently going through a divorce, and she loves to talk about it. She got shaded a little bit a few weeks ago by the Queen, Chrissy Teigen, by saying she watched her show Selling Sunset on Netflix and that she's never seen any of these women sell any houses ever. Which Chriselle went on to say, I do have my real estate license and I do sell houses. Like, okay, well, good for you. She looked pretty. She didn't break a heel like I was expecting. She was very stiff. And they definitely noticed.
And
they said that it's Derek Huff, who is the new judge, said that she's pigeon-toed, and you can definitely tell. And once she lost a step, she could never get it back. Her partner is who?
Gleb.
He is a sexy beast. But I'm not sure how much work he can do on her for her to get it correct. Because it sounds like Derek took a long time to get his bow-legged self up to par.
Yeah.
If you have a natural ailment, I guess you would call it, like being pigeon-toed or being bow-legged, that's something that's hard to correct. Especially ballroom dancing. And it's not something I think a few weeks is going to fix.
No.
And that's not me being hateful towards her. That's me just saying that's really a difficult thing to, get her to not be able to look like that while she's doing certain dances. And this was just one dance, and she hasn't done all the other ones. Their team name is Team Selling It, which is, of course, bounced off of the fact that she sells houses. For about an hour, I would say they were the lowest scored team. Who was third up?
Vernon
Davis and his partner Peta. Okay, first of all, football players are notorious for doing great at Dancing with the Stars. Jerry Rice,
Emmitt
Smith, yes, I was about to say, what's the deal for the Dallas Cowboys? Yeah, him. They're notorious for doing so well on the show. So the fact that Vernon is younger than they were when they were on this show, because he had just retired last year, I think it's really an advantage for him. He's going to pick up footwork very well because that's what they do on the football field. Footwork. It's all about footwork. Running routes and stuff like that, you have to have good footwork. Peta being his partner, I never thought about it, but seeing them together, they have so much chemistry, it's ridiculous. And I think they could really, I definitely see them as a solid top 5 team. As of right now.
Oh, yeah.
Whether I think he's going to win, I have to see him dance a few more times and see if he gets any better. But I definitely don't see any reason why he couldn't beat Chrishell or someone like that. What is their team name?
Davis is dancing.
Davis is dancing. Okay, who is next?
That would be Anne Hayes and Keo.
Okay, I totally guessed this when they went to commercial after Vernon danced, and I was like, they started showing her montage, and she's all like doing yoga or something, and I was like, she seems like such a free spirit. It would be cute if she was with Keo. And she opened the door, and there he was. So I watched her dance, and she looked gorgeous. And Keo can shake those hips, boy. But there were certain times where you would look at her face, and she would have a blank expression, to where she's thinking about what she has to do next. I only really saw her smile genuinely once during the whole dance. And the dance really was all about hip movement.
It was.
But yet you could tell, like, it was a process. Like, she was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, just kept going over the things they did in practice on the thing. And they even said that she, was too focused on what was happening next. I felt like she didn't get no enjoyment out of it.
No, none whatsoever.
Which, you're not getting eliminated. Not this week. So this dance should be the least terrifying. You should go out there and just try it. Oh, another thing. Back to Peta and Vernon. Apparently because of the dance they did and because he lifted her, he actually spun her on the floor, but she rose up a little bit where her feet weren't touching the ground. They docked a point. Well, Carrie Ann did. I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah, so did Derek.
Especially because it's week 1. And he's a big dude, and Peta is not very big. Like, I'm sure he wasn't intentionally trying to lift her. He was probably just trying to get the move follow through. But I just wanted to bring that up because it annoyed me. Because when Jeannie, it's like a genie coming out of a bottle. Jeannie Mai, when she danced, they were doing flips and everything. And I was like, I thought we couldn't pick them up. But apparently it's only on certain dances. Who was next?
That would be Jeannie and Brandon.
Yeah, they're a really cute match. Highlighter pants. I mean, I've never seen a brighter green. Not on her, on him. And it might have to do with the fact that he was black. That green was so damn bright. But I was like, oh my God. We could, like, it wasn't even, I'm not even going to say it's called neon. Like I said, it's like highlighter green.
It was highlighting.
I'm like, oh my God, you could turn off the lights and you would see his pants glow in the dark.
Yep.
It was that shiny. I was like, Jesus. But Jeannie did her thing. Like, she wasn't afraid to wrap her legs around his neck and spin around. And I was like, all right. Of course, I didn't understand why they didn't get dog points, but I told Danny, maybe it's the dance, the type of dance they're doing. I am slightly irritated, though, at Carrie Ann over being such a stickler for week 1. And giving Vernon and Peter a 5 instead of a 6. Next. Who was next?
That would be Jessie Metcalf and Sharna.
Okay, so Jessie, we actually thought it would be,
Jenna.
Yeah, Jenna. I don't know why. I said they look like siblings. And of course, in the picture, Sharna is redheaded. Now she's not. She's blonde with like pink in it. And she's adorable, and her outfit was completely cute. Jessie's shirt was hideous. I think Bruno has a little bit of a crush on him.
Just a little bit.
But you look at Jessie and you can't help it. She told him to bring the sexy out, and they did, because he had her one moment by the hips, and it brought her to like all the way up against him. And I was like, he's like practically humping her. He definitely brought the sexy element. Honestly, I don't think Jesse's gonna go very far. He's nice to look at, but there's so many others on here that I think can improve and get better each week.
Unless he just surprises.
Jesse just doesn't. I don't see him getting past like week 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say because I have no clue at this point.
But he's nice to look at. The shirt was hideous. I loved her outfit. But he could have definitely, I feel like he tried to stay inside this box. Like, he didn't want to mess up. Which made him mess up.
Yeah.
Because you get inside your head and you realize you're dancing on national television and you're not used to it. Okay, who's next?
Scott and Alan.
Okay, this was the OMG moment. So I told Danielle before they came out there, I said somebody is going to get a 7. And I said Derek's probably going to be the one to give it out. Because they had continually kept giving people 6, 6, 6, which adds up to 18. So here comes Miss Sky Jackson. She's 18. She used to be on Jessie, the Disney series, and she's adorable. She's grown now. She's the youngest contestant. She asked me if Janet Jackson was her mama or if she was related to any of the Jackson family, and I was like, no, her last name's just Jackson. I'm pretty sure they would say that in the montage of her if that was the case. So here she comes, kills it, gets all 7s.
Yeah.
I was like,
Didn't expect that at all.
I'm over here like, and this girl, she is short.
She is a tiny thing.
And like they try to fit, partners together. But Alan's like, he can't help it that he's still at least like 5 inches taller than her. But they work so well together. And she was fearless. She went out there like she's been doing it all her life. And she is a front runner. I'm telling you. Because her agility and because the fact that she is short and tiny, and he'll be able to twist her and turn her and all kind of things multiple ways, multiple times, and just make people fall in love with it. Like Derek said to somebody, I can't remember which team it was, but I think it was Caitlin. He's like, make it feel like you're coming through the TV at the audience.
Yeah. You extend that energy.
And Sky has that. She had, like, you can already tell. I can't wait to see her do the cha-cha or the tango. But definitely she was the one that took me by surprise. And I'm watching her. I'm like, okay. All right, who's next?
Caitlin!
Okay.
And Art.
Caitlin Bristow, Bachelorette over here. She was adorable. Her hair was on point. Eyeshadow. She was wearing highlighter yellow, but it wasn't as hideous as the green. Her and Artem are a perfect match. It was great to have Artem back. I hated the fact that they didn't let him be on last season because he's such a great dancer.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like a slap in the face. I think he even said that. So I'm surprised he even said yeah to coming back. Caitlin has some experience doing dance as a child. She felt confident in some areas. In some areas, she didn't feel so confident. You could tell. But our girl did good for week 1. And I'm really proud of her.
Yeah. She got a 20. So really
she
good.
was at the top of the leaderboard for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, team, will you accept this rose? Or will you accept this dance? Yes.
Yeah, will you accept this dance?
We will accept this dance.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's next?
Neb and Jenna. She
Okay.
totally blew us by surprise. Oh my Lord.
Okay, Neb
He can dance, y'all.
he's the catfish guy. I know y'all watched Catfish. It was a huge show on MTV. Neb, I did not expect his partner to be Jenna. But seeing them together is perfect. And they did a foxtrot. And they did old Hollywood style to The Way You Look Tonight. And Jenna looked gorgeous in her white dress. And he even wore a bow tie. And he had the biggest smile on his face the whole time. And the funniest comment that they got was, you don't have to hunch over and like try to grab her because she's not going anywhere. But he did very well. I think if he gets his body in check, because he has very long limbs, he's a tall dude. I think Jenna really could teach him some things that he can take home to his wife, who he gave a shout out to, and his kids. They call him Papa, apparently. The judges have started calling him Papa because Tyra Banks called him Papa.
That's how you do it.
But Nev and Jenna was completely adorable and not what I was expecting at all. But I really wasn't sure what to expect from Nev because the man goes around with a camera around the country to find fake people online. He don't dance. But their team Believers, there you go, Team Believers. Like Team Believers, they're Team Believers. So, keep a lookout for them. Alright, who's next?
It would be Johnny and Britt.
Okay, we totally called this match day one. Britt is the new girl. And Johnny, of course, had to admit, I'm not used to sharing the spotlight. And he, of course, had to say, I've won all this and that. And the only thing I'm missing besides an Oscar is the Mirrorball trophy. I'm like, okay, Johnny. I see you. Johnny's my man. At the beginning, he did fantastic. And then he got a little lost, and I think he kind of lost his confidence. Even though Johnny Weir is probably one of the most confident men alive, ballroom dancing can be terrifying. And they kind of called him out for it, and he completely took the blame. He did not want somebody to say anything bad about Britt. And I'm like, that's a solid teammate. Because I know it's hard for her being the new girl. Because Carrie Ann was like, there was a moment you looked at each other like you were both lost. And he was like, no, it was just I. And then he praised Britt again at the end when Tyra said something about sharing the spotlight. He said, well, I'm just lucky that I got such a great pro.
But he wouldn't share the spotlight with anyone else.
Yes. So that makes me love Johnny even more.
But he did get gypped, I think, on his scores, but whatever.
No sparkles today. But a lot of sheerness.
Yes. And their team is Team Brijo.
Yeah, Brijo. They're going to be fabulous. I already know. They look great together.
They're fabulous.
Okay, who's next?
That would be Justina and Sasha. And let me tell you, girl, represent the
thick girls.
Just represent. She can move.
If you are a size 12 and over, Justina is the girl for you.
Yes.
Girl, she out there in that cute little sparkly white dress, her thick thighs, and she is shaking it. And she said, I'm Latino. So she showed him a little salsa that she can do, and he was like, oh. They get on the dance floor, and I ain't ever seen somebody have more fun do a first dance than her. Mm-hmm. She was working it. And she was not ashamed of her body. She was not ashamed of the way it moves. She was having fun, and she didn't care who knew it. Bruno started talking to her in Spanish, and she was talking back. And I was like, I don't know what they saying, but if you get Bruno talking in another language, I'm pretty sure you did good. But that's another dark horse, I'm telling you, right there.
Oh, yeah.
Because anybody that can have that much fun and not have any fear will not be afraid to try anything. they will do it, and they will do it big. And that's her.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
And I'm like, okay. I see you. Alright, who's next?
That would be, and she's at the top of the leaderboard, and their team is called Loco Motion.
Locomotion.
Yes. The next would be Charles and Emma. And Charles is the ex-pro basketball player.
And he's like 7'9".
Yeah.
So poor Emma over here. But I think he did a lot better than people were expecting. Of course, they did dance to 50 Cent, It's Your Birthday. Which I didn't quite understand.
I don't really care. They were having fun.
He
had fun.
Charles Oakley was getting into it, though, and Emma was doing her thing like she always can, because Emma can dance. That's why she's a professional. I personally enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It annoyed me that he beat Chriselle for lowest score, because I was like, damn. Yeah, I'm that hateful. Sue me. But it's okay. I like him. He's got spunk. I mean, the fact that he's willing to try this at his age, it says a lot about him, because you know them knees be hurting. Alright, who's next?
That would be Monica and Val.
Okay, so we were kind of hoping for this. After about 3 couples in, we kept trying to figure out who was going to go to who. And I said, okay, Monica, if you don't know her, she is the head coach on the TV series Cheer that is on Netflix. That was a huge deal last year. She is the boss. She's the coach, the boss. Everything goes through Monica. She needed somebody that was a veteran and that was going to be able to get through to her that you have to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they picked Val, which was perfect. And she said she actually wanted Val. And she told him, she said, I'm used to being the coach, not the athlete. And he's like, well, I got you. She looked stunning. They danced. I could still tell she was kind of holding on to the reins.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to take her a couple weeks to, let it come freely. But I actually think Monica's going to do really good in this, because she does have a cheerleading background. And she still coaches cheerleading. And who else tells the girls how to do backflips, front flips, twirls, twists, all kind of things they do? She does.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure she don't make them do anything that she wouldn't do herself or is able to do. So, I'm looking forward to just see how Monica, again, steps out of her comfort zone. Because out of everybody, I think she's the one that would probably have the most trouble stepping out the comfort zone. Just because she is such a top 8 personality. If you watch the show, you'll know exactly what I mean. She's that way at home with her husband and her own children.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, who's next?
That would be Nellie and Daniela.
Okay. Not to be off subject, but can I just say, after all these years, Nellie is still hot.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally played hot in here whenever he walked through the door. Daniela was so excited. She said she was a huge fan. And she's like, we're going to salsa to your song. And he's like, my song? And she said, yeah, ride with me. And he was like, so then she started doing the salsa moves, which is all about the hips. And then she got behind him and put her hands on his hips. And she told him, do like this. And he's like, oh, why didn't you tell me that's how you do it? And they did it. And he did a full-on backflip. Like, just straight up backflip. Landed on his feet right in the middle of the dance. And both Danielle and I agreed he should have got extra points just for that.
Yeah, he really got gypped. He only got 16 points, and I don't know why.
I feel like he was way more solid. I thought he could at least get an 18. I mean, the rest of them got 18s, and they weren't halfway as decent as he was. But I was like, they're like, where'd the backflip come from? He wanted to have his own flair. And when they asked him about how do you like dancing to your own song, he was like, it was weird. And I kind of hate that they put him in that position. Because it wasn't even him singing it.
No.
Or rapping it, whichever one you want to call it. It wasn't him, period. And I think that I hate that they put him in that position. It made him feel awkward. But they look great together. And I think Nelly did a lot better than he thought he was going to. I think all of them did a lot better than they thought they were going to. I mean, that's the point. Is Carol up next?
Carol, yep.
Okay. If you have not watched Tiger King on Netflix, I suggest you do so. Why? Because Carol fucking Baskin. That's why. That bitch, Carol Baskin. Sorry, I had to say it like Joe does. Carol got, what's his name?
Pasha.
I get Sasha and Pasha confused. Pasha. And, you should have seen his face when she walked in. All in print.
It was like, oh, dear God, help me.
And she made him a flower hat that he had to wear. They danced to Eye of the Tiger. He was literally in a tiger cage with fake stuffed tigers.
It was kind of funny.
And she let him out of the cage, and they started dancing, and she looked so uncomfortable. I don't want to be rude to this woman, but this woman, I think she is absolutely a sociopath. So I'm kind of like, sleep with one eye open, dude. Because if she gets kicked off, she might, sick her tigers on you. I'm pretty sure every outfit she's going to wear, it's going to have some kind of print on it, because tonight it did. And it was floor length, and it did not match the dance at all. Danielle said they purposely gave her an easy dance.
They did.
I wouldn't know. I was too busy trying not to laugh.
Well, I mean, it was the Paso Doble. It is a little difficult, but it don't require her to move that much.
I was trying not to laugh because she was like, well, his pants match. Talking about her dress.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I did say that, and I got her tickled.
And I was like, oh, Jesus. I personally don't know why Carol would do this. I don't get it. I know she feels Tiger King made her look like, this crazy person and whatever.
Because she is.
But I feel like this is not the way to go about it. Like, she's an older woman and people can be rude and crude and mean, and I'm like, I think she's gonna go home first, just because people honest to God think she killed her husband or had him killed, and I'm one of those people, because it's like, where's Dawn at? People don't go disappear. Nobody ever just disappears. Believe me, we've watched documentaries about the disappearance of certain people. We've come to conclusions they don't disappear. They die.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, I didn't like her dance. I didn't like her outfit. And I feel bad for Pasha. I didn't like her outfit because it looked like she got it from the costume store.
Yep.
I didn't like the dance because I didn't see her do anything impressive. I could do that dance. All she did was hang on to him and let him move, and she just kind of slid with him. I'm just like, well, at least Charles Oakley with his 7'9" ass tried to move, and Nellie did a backflip.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, but that's our thoughts on the contestants and their partners. The judges, it is weird without Lynn, but he is there through satellite, and he said he was going to continue to keep checking in. I think Derek did really good. He's really handsome, so it's nice to have something to look at. And then you have Bruno over there who went silver.
Yeah. He be looking good, man.
Looking hot. And Carrie Ann is still kind of a bitch.
Always.
I think Derek's going to be a really good judge because he's done this numerous times and has won, and he knows what it takes to win. And when he gives you advice, he gives it through what he's been through. Like, even though I don't like Chriselle, he gave Chriselle really good advice because of something that he had, and that's something he noticed that she has. A lot of talk of arm movement tonight, I noticed, about where your arms are at.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I'm listening to how their feet ain't pointed. But a lot of talk of arm, which was interesting. Tyra Banks. So a lot of people were upset that, the other judges, were fired or whatever. And, that happens. It just does. The woman, I can't remember who it was, that Erin Andrews replaced, she got like a short notice too that she was being replaced. So it's kind of like, well, karma's a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Tyra being the only host actually helped me pay attention a lot more.
It worked out better.
I always feel like Erin tried to talk over Tom when they were doing it. Like I said, I don't like Erin Andrews. So I always felt like she was kind of pushy, especially doing interviews when after the dances. Tyra was more, she was just happy to be there. and kind of in awe of the fact that she was the host of Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
She wore this fabulous red dress coming down the stairs, and she's like, Danielle's like, how many times do you think she practiced that? I'm like, at least 25. But she was flawless, and then she changed because she's like, I couldn't wear that red dress the whole night. I was like, at least she's real on that. And then she lost the earring towards the end and threw it at Carrie Ann to hold on to.
Yup.
They did have some technical difficulties at times. Like, Tyler's microphone went out one time. The spotlight didn't work on somebody one time. I'm pretty sure Carol's whole microphone system went down because Tyler asked her a question twice, and all she could do was nod. But a show without an audience, they had noise that came in to the building, so it's kind of like you didn't notice because they made the judges panel much bigger.
Yeah, they did.
And they're 6 feet apart, so that's why it's so big. It's big and wide. But overall, I was really pleased. I don't normally watch Dancing with the Stars unless somebody, usually one person that I like, is on it. And I just like to watch it, at least the first episode, just to see how well I think they're going to do. And I won't watch the last episode, depending on who's in it. But this year, there's so many contenders. Out of all 14, didn't you say there was 14 pairs?
No, there's 15.
15 pairs. I would say 10 of them is a solid. They're solid.
Oh, yeah, there's no telling.
And at this point, my pick of Johnny Weir, which I still stand behind, of course. I think Johnny can fix whatever. I mean, he's used to adversity. I mean, he was in the fucking Olympics, for Christ's sake. I think he could totally turn it around. I mean, it's just the first week. Same with AJ, with what they told him for her pick. And then Caitlin, she did way better than we were expecting. She was the top of the leaderboard for a little bit.
Yeah, she did amazing. There's lots of contenders.
But we definitely gotta watch for Vernon. And we gotta watch for Scott. And we gotta watch for Justina.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I cannot wait until next Tuesday. I mean, I'm just like, this is going to be really fun. And we get to vote. And I don't know if I'm going to vote or not. I might. But I might vote for more than one person. Sorry, Johnny. You better show me something, or I might put my vote somewhere else. That's just the way I am. I'm not partial at all. I mean, I love Johnny Weir. But if somebody, like, blows my mind and impresses me, I'm going to be like, they should stay. Because I've seen people stay on here just because they're popular, not because they can dance.
Exactly.
And I do not think that's how this should work. If you can't dance and you get low scores every week, I think you should go home. Not be rewarded just because you're popular. So there's somebody at my door. I have to finish the video. Thanks for watching, guys. That's our take on Dancing with the Stars. We'll be back later.